outside a little bit enjoying the sunshine. The girls are playing with Barbies, and I just wanted to hop on quick and mention a few things about the Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool curriculum, which we have used in the past a little bit, and for the following year, for next year, for our upcoming year, we plan to use it, I would say about 92% of everything. I do have a different reading curriculum for my daughter Zoe. She's going into first grade. But for my son, we are going to plan to use it pretty much full time. Our electives and things will all be together, and we will use some of their programs for that as well, but we'll also do a couple of other things in there as well for those. But anyway, I just wanted to hop on really quickly because I know that I have not uploaded our curriculum pics yet, which I do plan to do over the next coming weeks. I still have a lot of schoolroom organization to do, so as I was going through that, I wanted to lay everything out and show exactly what I've picked for Easton and Zoe for next year. But for right now, I did just want to hop on quick and just mention a couple things about the Easy Peasy curriculum, because I feel like a lot of people might be looking for options right now, and it might be worth knowing a little bit about as you're looking, because it has really been really good for us. We have really enjoyed using it. We don't have a ton of experience with a lot of curriculum, but for this upcoming year, it will look slightly different for us, specifically for my oldest, my son, because we will no longer be using an online academy that we have been using for him for the past 3 years. So his first 3 years, we did use that. I'm not going to name it specifically yet because I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do a video about that or not. I'll probably mention it. There were a few different reasons why we chose not to use that again, which I'm not going to go into right now, but for the upcoming school year, I needed to plan a lot more since the curriculum will no longer be provided for me, for him. So anyway, I was talking to a friend when my husband and I were talking through some different options, and I, again, for different reasons, some personal, some other reasons, I just wasn't completely set on using a public school charter school, which we were looking for maybe things that were a little bit more budget friendly, because the online academy was great as far as curriculum and how our son just exploded over the years. It was really great for him as far as academically. It wasn't super budget friendly, which we as a family try to be conscious of that. And with our daughter entering first grade next year, it would have been a heavy load on our budget to pay for her and our son to use the same program, and not just budget wise, but it would have been a big load to try to teach both of them that way. It did require a lot of attention from me still, even though everything was already on the curriculum was already uploaded for us. It still required a lot of my attention when my son was going through those subjects. So I just mentally felt like we weren't at a place where we could do that for my son and my daughter. So we decided to explore other options. So anyway, long story short, we'll have to set it out to let it dry in the sun maybe a little bit. It's okay. When we were exploring other options, I was talking to a friend, a homeschool mom, and she's also my neighbor. She lives right back there. She was like, have you ever looked into Easy Peasy? And I was like, yes, I did actually look into it a few years back, but for a few different reasons I chose not to use them, the big one being we ended up using the online curriculum completely for my son. So I remembered looking at the website, and to be honest, that first time that I went to it, it was slightly confusing to me, and so I really didn't put much attention into exploring it further. that was a few years back. So recently, when I was exploring other options and she brought it up again, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember looking at that. Maybe I'll go back and explore it again. So I did, and I ended up using them a little bit last year when we only used the private academy for my son for a few subjects last year, and then we filled in everything else with Easy Peasy. And I also did the Easy Peasy preschool curriculum with the preschool and the Learn to Read program with Zoe last year. Even though she was technically in kindergarten, the preschool program was basically reviewing all the letters of the alphabet, their phonetic sounds, and there were like little characters that went along with it. So anyway, she really ended up enjoying it, and the Learn to Read program was actually really advanced. I have read some different things that their curriculum as far as reading is advanced, and I did find that to be true. So we are doing a different reading program for Zoe for next year. It'll dry, honey. It'll dry. For next year, because I felt like the Learn to Read program, she did learn some things, but I felt like maybe for last year, and maybe she was a little too young, it may not have been time for her yet, but I felt like she got a little bored maybe, and she needed a little bit more to go with it. It could have been that her age and she just wasn't quite ready for it. So we're gonna try something different this upcoming year, which I will talk about in a few weeks. But for right now, I just simply wanted to come on. That was a really long introduction, I'm really sorry. But I wanted to pop on because there may be some people right now who are exploring it and might want to hear from someone who has had experience with it, with the website, with the online, with the offline. I've done a little bit of mix of all of it and plan to again next year do a mix of both. So, and I just wanted to put out there, all of these opinions are my own. I was not asked to create this video. It's not sponsored. This is all just me speaking from experience for someone who may need to hear it. So, is it enough? So is Easy Peasy enough? This has been a question that has been, I've heard it thrown around a little bit, and for us, yes, it absolutely was enough. So we are in Pennsylvania. I'm required to have my children evaluated at the end of every school year. Once they turn 8, I am required to enroll them in the school system. I'm sorry, not enroll them, register them, which maybe that's the same thing. They're not enrolled in public school, but they are registered with the public school system. So that means each year I have to have them evaluated at the end by a certified evaluator, yes, and turn in an affidavit at the beginning of every school year. And also, I believe it's 3rd, 5th, and 8th grade, they have to have state testing done. So this year we'll conquer that as well with my son. He'll be going into 3rd. We haven't done that yet, but I did want to say that we did use Easy Peasy last year for history, zoology, so science. My son also did Old Testament study, and we used it for music, PE, and health. And there were no issues at evaluation whatsoever. Everything got checked off 100%. I really felt like going through a whole year of that curriculum for history and especially zoology or science, it was completely enough. We felt completely full. I did not have to supplement. Now we supplemented with some books and things, but to be honest, it was great. It was really good, especially for my son. He likes to sit down, get it done, and get it done. He doesn't like to linger and add in a bunch of extra things. So it was just enough for us, and some days were a little bit more than others, and some weeks we did a project and we took 3 days to do it instead of 2 or instead of 4, and then we just filled in an extra worksheet that we didn't get to at the beginning of the week. It was just so nice to be able to, for me, to know that it was up to me how much I felt like they needed and he needed to accomplish for that week, and then at the end of the year to know that we did enough and we were good. And it was just really comforting. So I just wanted to hop on and say that yes, it is enough, at least for the subjects that we did. Now I'll reevaluate at the end of next year, of course, after we plan to use them full-time, but I've looked over the whole history curriculum for the upcoming year that we're going to use for Easton and Zoe, and we're going to be doing early American history, and the curriculum looks extremely full and very full of good things. There's a lot of reading, a lot of read alouds, which is completely fine. I'm really excited to add more of that into our school year this upcoming year. So yeah, that's that, point number one, and some reasons why I love it and why I will continue to use it. So Lee Giles, who wrote the whole curriculum, is from Pennsylvania. They live in Pennsylvania, which is the state that we're in. So I don't depend on that 100% to know that we're meeting everything that we need, but it's comforting to know that her standards, her state standards, are the same as ours as a family. So that's really nice. Just her heart behind sharing the curriculum. Like, it's completely free. It's completely free online for anyone to access. And that's just amazing. She put all of this work and all of this thought for her own family into this curriculum, and then she made it available to whoever wants to take advantage of it. It blows me away every time I think about it, because that is it's just so gracious, and I'm just very thankful for her and for her heart and for her family that has probably sacrificed a lot to allow her to make that available to many, many families. So I'm very grateful for that, and I will continue to be grateful for that. And one more reason, which is the most important reason, and the one I left for the end because I wanted to end on this note, is that it's a faith-based, Christian-run curriculum. That's the most important thing to our family and to the curriculum that I will use. I just could not, in my heart, settle on using a curriculum that did not line up with our family values and things that I wanted my children to be taking into their hearts and minds at such a young age. And that's not to bash any curriculum or any school or anyone that's not using this. Again, these are all my own opinions, and there are lots of other ways to do schooling at home that I'm not an expert. These are just my opinions, and I hope that it helps someone that may be possibly exploring this curriculum. I am open to questions. I'm open to comments. I'm open to emails. I'm open to opening up any of our books and any of our plans and helping anyone that has any questions. Just let me know. I'm more than willing to do that. I've walked through this curriculum in a few subjects, and I plan to walk through it next year in a lot of subjects. So again, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy. I've had lots of friends ask me, and yeah, I'm open to it. So just let me know. Thank you for sticking around if you watched this long. I hope that answered maybe some questions. So yeah, again, thanks, and we'll talk soon. Hope you have a great day.